This is the worst drought in 40 years. Millions of Ethiopians at risk from failed rains. Around 1 million livestock are believed to have died in drought-affected parts of Somali Region, Ethiopia. Ethiopia's eastern Somali region has been hit by 3 consecutive below-average rainy seasons, worsening the already deteriorating humanitarian situation for around 3.5 million people, more than half the local population. The biggest humanitarian crises of 2021. Countries with the most people in need of humanitarian assistance and protection in 2021. Ethiopia has 21.3 million people who are in need of humanitarian assistance. That number has increased 166% in just 1 year. Deadly effects of drought. Children face a grueling walk, sometimes as long as 6 hours, just to fetch 1 jerrycan of water. Thousands of livestock die. Crops die across a country where 80% of population depends on agriculture. In desperation, families have to sell surviving cattle at the market, but prices plummet as everyone does the same. Families have to sell their possessions and abandon their homes to search for food and water. 2.5 million children are predicted to have to drop out of school. 52,000 children suffer from severe acute malnutrition. This is a map from Fuse.net. Pasture and water availability are minimal, and regional government reports suggest increasing livestock deaths, low livestock milk production, and decreasing livestock values in markets. According to regional and zonal governments in southern and southeastern pastoral areas, over 2.2 million livestock died between October and mid-April. With limited access to livestock for sale, pastoralists across these areas face extreme constraints in purchasing sufficient food. Emergency, IPC Phase 4, outcomes are widespread, with some populations in catastrophe, IPC Phase 5. This year's rains were inadequate, especially for central Ethiopia. Many areas of the country obtained just 50 to 80% of their normal rainfall for those months, while several others received less than 50% of the seasonal norm. Crop plantings in affected areas, therefore, dropped significantly. In eastern Amhara, plantings were 60% below average, in Tigray, they were 48% below average, while in the southern nationalities, and peoples, SNNP, region, they were 40% below average. The failure of these earlier rains has a serious impact on soil and plant health, affecting and delaying crops. It is clear that the governments of the world will not do enough to end world hunger. Every meal you can provide starving children in Ethiopia will help. FeedStarvingChildren.org does not accept donations. We are not asking for any money at all. We are simply asking that you do what you can to help starving children in the world. There has to be a way we can help end world hunger. It starts with one step. Maybe you and your family will one day feed starving children 100,000 meals in your lifetimes. It can all start today by trying to get 100 pounds of rice to an orphanage in Ethiopia. FeedStarvingChildren.org has not tried the easy 1-2-3-step system in Ethiopia before, but it doesn't mean it won't work. Give it a try and try to have food shipped to an orphanage today. It might be the greatest accomplishment of your life. How you can send food directly to an orphanage. Follow the easy 1-2-3-step system. Step 1. Find an orphanage in a poor part of the world. Step 2. Find a local grocery store or food wholesaler that can deliver. Step 3. Place the order and have it delivered. It's really that easy. Remember that it is best to contact the orphanage first to make sure they are willing to accept the food donation.